Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about eye makeup. I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to make your eyes look bigger with makeup. I don't think I've got... I think I've got quite small eyes, and with makeup one of my favourite things to do is just make my eyes appear a lot bigger. I've got a bunch of products here that I'm going to show you along with some techniques, and I am also going to be showing you the new Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk push-up lashes as part of my partnership with Charlotte Tilbury, which I am still absolutely over the moon about, so you'll see that a bit later. If you'd like to see how I'm going to do this, then please stay tuned. Okay, let's zoom you in, and I'm going to do one eye and leave the other eye with nothing on it just so you can really see the difference. I'm just going to go for it. There's a lot of little tricks and techniques I'm going to show you, so I'm not going to number them. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a base on our eyes. Now, some of these little tricks you might have heard from me before, but the eye look itself is going to be different to things I've been doing lately. So I'm going to do this eye, and we're going to leave this eye free. I am going to start with a base. Now, I like using a concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Ginger, and you'll see it's not that light. Like, you'll see it's brighter. It is brighter, but it's not too bright. I like keeping my base a little bit closer to my skin tone. I just think that the eyeshadow works better for me. I've actually curled my eyelashes for once. I never do that, but I've curled my eyelashes ahead of time, and I actually used an eyelash curler and a lighter. I heated up this part here, the metal part. It almost acts like a curling iron for your eyelashes. So this is the curliest my eyelashes have been in a long time, which I'm pretty freaking excited about, if I'm honest. So I'm going to continue on. We've got our base down, nothing too crazy, nothing too thick either. That actually, I think, makes my eyes look smaller initially, but bear with me. For the eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with the Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. The look I'm going to do is quite inspired by another makeup look that I did recently when I was on my stories talking about this new Charlotte Tilbury product that now I can actually talk about. I'll pop it on the screen here so you'll be able to see in the video. It's just a kind of float and cut crease with a bit of liner and mascara. So I'm going to do something that's quite similar to that, but not exactly the same. So I'm going to go for mattes mostly. First thing I'm going to do is go in with the lightest shade in the Dusk Trio, and I'm just going to use that all over just to mattify our base. So I'm going to go with the middle shade in the Date Trio. You can see that I've been using this palette tons. And I'm going in with a tiny brush, and what we're going to do is we're not going to go in the crease, we're going to go slightly above the crease. So just here. This is going to give the illusion that your crease is just naturally super high. There we go. So we're kind of sketching out a new crease. And I'm using the small brush just to get the placement right. And then we'll go in with a bigger brush to really blend that out. So I'm just taking my time, and I'm keeping in here super high. This for me really helps with the illusion that my whole eye is bigger. And start doing little circular motions upwards to diffuse that line. And there we've got a really kind of soft natural cut crease, if I'm honest. That looks quite similar. I'm going to go in with the shimmer from the Day Trio. This one here, it's just kind of like a nice highlighter shade. My eyes, geographically, are quite close together on my face, so I really enjoy doing a little kind of inner corner liner, but for me personally, I would rather my eyes look slightly further apart, so by putting this highlighter shade on my inner corner, it's going to do exactly that. It also really opens the eyes up. I really love the look of an inner corner highlight. And then what you can do is with the same tiny brush, we're going to apply that just underneath the brow up here. There we go. So it's a tiny amount. I'm not going right over the brow bone. I'm literally just doing right underneath the brow. And that just makes the whole eye, like, I just think that you're starting to see the difference. I'm going to keep the lid really light and bright. So what we're going to do is go in with the lightest shade. And then I'm going to go in with the highlight shade right in the center of the eye. So I'm going to go first with the matte. We're going to keep that nice and bright. And then again, like I said, going to go in with the shimmer just right here. I'm going to go slightly deeper in the crease with the darkest shade in the Date Trio, which is almost like a kind of darker plum. And I'm going to keep that mostly on the outside. So our eye's starting to look bigger and actually more lifted because of the shape of the shadow. And there's no harsh lines with any cut creases, which I actually really like. I like when it's quite soft. I just think that looks really pretty. Okay, here's when the trickery starts. Let's go in our Waterline with a cream pencil. This is the Makeup Forever pencil in the shade Boundless Bisque. And I'm just gonna go in my waterline with that. I'm gonna go in with the first shade that we used. I'm gonna go slightly under where my lower lashes are. And that's gonna create almost like a fake shadow underneath our eye. And this part doesn't need to be heavy. It can be really subtle if you want. So you can just blend that away. But you can see it's starting to really kind of exaggerate the shape and the size of our eyes. Now for our liner, one of my favourite things to do is use a dark shadow for the actual liner. So I'm going to go in with an angle brush and we're going to start to stamp our liner and make our lash line look a bit thicker as well. So I'm going to start in the middle of the eye. And this is actually a really nice way to do your winged liner because it's eyeshadow, it's just so easy. So if you do this first, then you can go in with black afterwards and you've got a stencil to follow. I just think that looks so pretty. And I really love using colours that are not black for liner. I like playing around with the different colours. Like I did blue last week. This is like almost like a really nice plum, which if you have green eyes like me, is really enhancing for your eyes. Makes them pop. And we've still got this really soft natural cut crease going on. And then if you want a little bit extra definition, you can actually do the same thing under your eye. You can kind of join that up. I'm going to go in with a really fluffy brush in this peachy shade here, and I'm going to bring that crease right up. And this is just going to diffuse all the colours, make for a really nice blend. It just kind of exaggerates that almost negative space we've got going on. If you need to, if you feel like you've got kind of oily eyelids, I definitely do. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of that first light shade and just mattify that down a little bit. I wish I'd filmed curling my eyelashes because that actually was amazing. I'll do it next time, I promise. And you can see when I look forward, my natural crease is actually a lot lower down, but it looks like that's my new crease. I just reinvented myself. Now I know I said I didn't want to do a proper cut crease, but I do want to just show you this little technique. I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base. This is number 4, so it's a little bit darker than some of the other shades that she's got that are really popular. And I'm going to go in with my, oh my god, the number of this brush is worn off, but it's one of my oldest Smith brushes. I'm sure it's a lip brush. But I'm just going to show you the difference it's going to make brightening up my inner crease. You can see that there's not really any dark eyeshadow there. It's still quite light, but I'm going to use a tiny bit of the P. Louise. It's like a really wearable way to do a cut crease. It's not harsh. I'm bringing it up slightly. And then while it's still creamy, I'm just going to bring that onto my actual lid and blend it in. You can see the difference. It just really brightens up that area. You can use anything for this. You can use like a concealer. I actually kind of want to define the centre of the lid as well. There we go. So it's so natural. I think this is a really nice way to wear this base. It's just so wearable. And then actually, why don't we just flip and do the same thing? I'm going to slightly define this. There we go. So I've just really slightly defined that, and then I'm going to go in with a tiny brush and that natural eyeshadow, and we're just going to set this. You can use a translucent powder to set this if you want. It's almost like you can't even tell I've done a cut crease, which I really like. So it just shows you don't need to use a huge amount of this product and for it to be really opaque. You can do it in a subtle way as well. I love both, to be honest, but for this look I wanted it to be really romantic. Whenever I'm using Charlotte Tilbury products, actually, I always just want to look so like sultry and romantic and sexy. So I try my absolute best. Time for mascara. I'm really excited to show you this. I've been secretly using this product for about a month. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes, and I'm going to show you a little bit of education around the mascara, you know, as I am an ambassador for Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so it's called Push Up Lashes because it's just like a lash lift in a tube. And we have the wand, which is flat on one side, And then on the other side, you've got this diamond shaped bristles, which naturally follow your lashes. And there's 2 steps to applying this mascara. You use the flat side to load your lashes up with product, and then once you've done that a couple of times, you turn the wand around and you use the bristles to comb through your lash. Okay, so I'm going to just show you. And for this look, to make my eyes look bigger, I'm going to really use a lot of mascara. I love a lot of mascara. So I'm going to use the flat side to really get loads of product on my lashes. Give it a couple of seconds between coats so you're not just applying it and then rubbing it off. But once I've done that, I'm going to turn the brush around, and the little bristles in the wand are going to comb this product through, which is going to give us a little bit of separation with the lashes and lift as well. So you can see the mascara is super, super black. It's also infused with keratin, which is going to condition your lashes. So even though you've got super lifted, thick lashes, the formula itself is really, really light. So it doesn't feel like you've got anything on, if that makes sense. It's a really gorgeous formula. And then for the bottom lashes, I'm actually going to focus on the very ends of my bottom lashes. So I'm not going to go too close to my waterline. I'm going to keep that nice and free of product. And then you can also use the very tip of the wand just for extra separation and precision as well. So that's really nice on the bottom lashes. But the reason I'm not going too close to the root of the lash is I want my waterline to be really nice and bright. At the side of the lashes, I'm just going to build these up a little bit more with the tip of the brush to get a little bit more of a kind of winged mascara look. See, right, this is really daft, but see if I go out of focus and I look at the camera, look how much bigger and more defined this eye is. Magic. I'm just using the highlighter shade just to define that cut crease a little bit more and add a little bit more light. Oh, cool. I'm going to zoom you out and you can see the difference. So there we are. This eye, obviously, this eye that's got nothing on it. So this eye looks much more defined, it looks much more lifted, and it also just looks a lot bigger. So I'm going to jump off camera and I'm going to finish off this eye just so you can see the completed look, and I'll be right back. Ta-da! So you guys, that is the finished look. I really love it. I love using mascara just on the tips of my bottom lashes. It just I think enhances the whole shape of the eye, and then obviously I'm obsessed with the lifting and the sculpting. It kind of makes them look like they've got more real estate on my face, if you know what I mean. You know, before my eyes were a wee bit beady and now they're a bit more glamorous. Let me know if you try out any of these techniques. Obviously there's nothing new here. This is just a kind of collection of little techniques that I've picked up along the way. There's always more to be learned when it comes to makeup. If you're interested in what I've got on my face and the products that I used today, I'll list everything down below. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye! You're nice and close. So I'm just gonna focus. I am going to show you, so there's a couple of techniques that I've picked up along the way in the last 10 years. You're a bit low down. Oh, so you zoomed in as possible. I feel like you brought forward. Come on. There we go. My lower lid. Lower lid? I don't even know what that part of my eye is called.